Hello Fern the Fan fans. Today is the day. We are going to flip our trailer upside down so that we can finish any grinding and sanding that needs to be done. Then we're going to prime it and we're going to paint it. We'll be flipping this like 2 or 3 times just to make sure we can get everything covered and paint it up so it looks really pretty. So I'm not going to be talking during the time we flip this. We do have our helper today, but let's be as safe as we can about this. So I'll just let you watch, and if it comes down, well, you'll get to see it. So hey, let's get to it. Okay.
Keep going.
Stop. Here I am trying to center the trailer along with the cables and the chain so that we can flip it midway. Okay. Stop. Gosh, this is exciting. The trailer is now about 6 inches off the ground. I'm just moving the carpet to be underneath the wheels, or underneath that wheel, so that it doesn't scrape the white wall or the red paint. Now I'm just moving the trailer over to the center of the cables, getting ready to flip it to the opposite side. Stop. Lift it up. I wasn't expecting that. Did I ever tell you this is dangerous? I do the dangerous stuff, so you don't have to.
My hands are off the button.
Here I'm undoing the cable from the top side of the trailer, and I'm going to switch it to the bottom side of the trailer. The back of the trailer is resting upon the ground at this point, so it's not too dangerous to flip the cable from one side to the other.
Can you make them hold anything?
Down. Stop. Okay, it didn't roll here like I thought it would. The other hoist on here. Well, that was quite a deal. Thank you, assistant, for helping us to get this trailer flipped upside down. Now, as we talked about in part 1, there were actually 2 options that we thought about. The first option was to lift it from its tongue, kind of on a high angle, and then rotate it back down. The second option was to lift it on its low side and just rotate it this way. One of our viewers suggested we rotate it this way, and the only thing I was concerned about was messing up our tire, because as you can see, we have some pretty nice tires on here and we want to reuse them. But what we did was we just covered them, we just protected them in place, covered them with cloth and carpet, and then we were able, as you saw, was able to rotate it easily this way, and the trailer only had to be off the ground for like 6 inches for just a moment or two, just so we could get it the final turn, so we could lower it back down. We're going to take our trailer out of the shop now, and we're going to grind those extra little spots that we couldn't quite get to or couldn't quite see. And then we're going to start priming. Just what you've been waiting for. Did I ever mention this stuff is dangerous? Yeah. So be safe in anything you do, and if you don't know what you're doing, probably shouldn't do it. All right, let's get to priming. So as you can see, our trailer is upside down. We went over the rest of the steel frame with our grinders and our sanders, and just getting the metal all cleaned up and ready for primer. I took the one wheel off of the other side, and I'm going to take this wheel off now. And the reason we're doing that is because we don't want to get paint all over our pretty wheels. Also, we need to paint our hubs. So we're just going to take it all off. We're up on blocks. We should be safe. So let's get to taking this wheel off. Remember, you don't put your hands over here, you get thumped. So unfortunately, we will not be painting today. Now in the video, you'll see us painting. It's getting a little bit late in the day, and I still have to go to the store to get our primer and our paint. Hope you enjoyed our process so far. It's been quite a challenge to get this frame all cleaned up. We'll go store this in the shop, and I'm going to head off to the paint store. I'm back from the store, and I have applied one coat of our rust primer, or a primer that converts the rust to something. I guess it just neutralizes it. But this is our first coat of primer. It's black. It won't be our final coat. We are going to finish doing our little rust spraying here. And then after this dries for 24 hours, then we're going to apply our other primer, which is going to be a nice gray primer. And then we will be ready for our paint. Are you ready for the color? I know, I haven't told you what color it is yet, but I will say it is not white, it is not black, it is not red, it is not silver. Let's think 1940s. All right, Fern the Fan friends, today's the day. We've ground down our frame. We have sprayed on our rust converter primer. We bought our gray primer. And this is our color. A little hint of the color. Yeah. All right. So what are we going to do now? Well, we need to go outside where the frame is. We've wiped it down once with water, and now we're going to wipe the entire frame down with Prep All. This is not a sponsorship, it's just what I use. I used it on my Datsun when I cleaned it before I painted. Turned out great. So Prep All, wax and grease remover. Let's get to wiping the trailer down, and then we get to prime. So with our first initial wash down, I thought the trailer was clean because I had used a damp rag to wipe off everything. Well, when we used our Prep All, see just how much more grime and stuff came off. So we need to wipe it down once, maybe 2 more times. Want to make sure that steel is nice and clean. What we're doing now is we're mixing up our primer. You can get two different kinds of primer. One where it's the primer and you add your hardener to it, or this here, which is just it's just ready to go. That's what we're going to do. Since this is a trailer, it's not a show car or anything, we're just going to use this ready to go primer. You need to mix it up. Make sure there isn't any lumps or anything in it. And we're going to pour it into our paint gun top, but before we do that, we need to get a strainer. So let me go get a strainer. Now, I'm in no means a professional car painter. I have an idea of what to do though. I did paint one. Turned out pretty nice actually. So I think for our trailer, I'm going to do okay. So we think this is mixed pretty good. We're not going to, we have our strainer here. That's just to keep out any lumps because we don't want any type of clogs getting into our paint gun. Since we really don't know how much we're going to use, we'll just pour, oh, I don't know, a good amount. Maybe, oh, let's go with the whole half a quart. Since this is already pre-mixed, this is also going to give us a clue on how much actual paint it's going to take to paint our trailer. The cool thing about today is the wind is picking up and it gusts and then it doesn't blow. And I don't know, we're going to try to paint anyway. Hopefully you won't make the neighbors mad. You don't want to make your neighbors mad. Alright, so give me just a minute. We're going to put on our little painting suit and our air mask and we'll go out, and then we'll go outside and we'll start to spray. Just want to point out, just when you don't think my work clothes can get any uglier, I have this beautiful paint coverall, which is good because you don't want to get paint on everything. We're going to put on our face mask. And we're going outside. Well, there you have it. We have the whole underside coated with a nice 2 or 3 coats of primer actually. I think it looks quite nice. So what we're going to have to do now is, yeah, it would have been nicer to be able to have it up on its side and paint everything. But we do what we have to do. So what we're going to do is let this primer dry, and then we're going to take it in the shop, flip it upside down, finish priming the top edges, and then we'll flip it back over and add our color. So this is the next day. We primed the bottom of the trailer and got that looking really, really good. Then wanted to let it dry. We brought the trailer back into the shop. I hooked it up a little bit different this time to our hoist, and flipping it was a lot easier. So this morning I flipped the trailer back the other way, and then I took the trailer back outside, primed the top parts of the trailer, so now the entire trailer is primed. Let's take a look. As you can see, our trailer is back up in the correct position that it's supposed to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and let the trailer, it doesn't dry necessarily, I guess it does, but what they call it is flash off, to let all the chemicals in that come up out of the primer. So in probably about 2-3 hours, then we're going to start putting paint on our trailer. here it is, all painted. Well, almost all painted. We kind of ran out of light. So in the morning, we're going to flip this just one more time and finish painting the top of the frame, and we will call painting all complete. I will say this was probably the hardest part of this entire trailer build, was the sanding, the grinding, the prepping this trailer and getting it ready for paint. But I think it looks good. I don't know what your thoughts are on the color. I call it either light apple green or maybe even a mint. I think it's a nice color for the 40s era with the reds and the light green. The rest of the trailer, of course, will have polished aluminum on the outside, and the inside we're going to have whites and light tan or light toast colors. But that's more to come when we get to that part of the build. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and stop this video. I appreciate all of you subscribers and all the viewers out there. I appreciate your comments. If you like what you see and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you know of any others that may be interested in taking a look at our build, go ahead and have them sign into Fur in the Fan. The next thing on this trailer, what we're going to do is we're going to start with wood. Yeah, we're to the wood stage now. No more steel, at least not for a while. This is going to be wood floors, insulated. Then we're going to go off onto building our glue laminated beam walls. Now that's going to be exciting because I've never done it before. So just a few things that will be coming up soon.